Hey friend, it's Kristen. Welcome back to my mini-series, Shutdown, Not Shaken, where we explore building community, creating joy, and enjoying rest without apology during uncertain times. During this series, I am committed to sharing one episode a day until the government shutdown is over. Today, I want to circle back to something we talked about in the first episode of this podcast, self-coaching. If you have not listened if you have not listened to that episode, I encourage you to go back and listen. I'll make sure to link it in the show notes. Self-coaching is a coaching model that is based in cognitive behavioral therapy. You may have also heard of something very similar called the thinking path. One way I like to use this model is to support me when I want to reframe. When there is an event or a circumstance which leads to a thought, then leads to an emotion, an action, and a result. I can look at the results that I have and decide whether or not they're working for me. I can choose to go through this model until I create or find a thought that works. The part of the self-coaching model that I want to focus on today, are the emotions. This is not a place where I have felt comfortable. In fact, I have spent much of my life avoiding emotional vulnerability. The part of the self-coaching model I want to focus on today are the emotions. This is not a place where I have been comfortable. In fact, I have spent much of my life avoiding emotional vulnerability. Over the years, I've been encouraged, whether in therapy or coaching, to use I feel statements. I've been asked, how did that make you feel? And I've been asked to sit in the discomfort of my emotions. I'll share that a few weeks after my mother passed, I was driving in a car and Phyllis Hyman came on the radio. Now, I don't ever remember hearing Phyllis Hyman played on this specific station, but at first it made me smile and I just let the song play. By the time the song was over, though, I was filled and overwhelmed with sadness and tears just started to fall. After about 90 seconds, the emotion had passed and I moved on with my day. It was then that I learned that if I just allowed myself to sit with those emotions as opposed to avoiding them, they passed much faster. My challenge with sitting with my emotions came up again when I decided to get back into coaching. I can't, as a coach, ask my clients to be vulnerable, and I cannot lead them where I am unwilling to go myself. I cannot recognize their emotions and support them in moving to action if I can't recognize the emotions in myself. So I've been actively working to name, sit with, and feel my emotions. I am in the middle of reading a book called Move, How the Science of Movement Can Set Your Mind Free by Caroline Williams. I am going to read you a line from the book. The whole point of emotions is to stir us into action, to change something that isn't right in the world. The word emotion comes from the Latin for to move away. We can look at everything that is happening in the world, in the media, and we can look at everything that is happening in the world and in the media, and we can see the messaging that is designed to evoke emotion. Are we using our emotions to move us in the direction where we want to go? Or are we so disconnected from them and possibly stuck as a result? If we're not noticing our emotions, how are we going to move the needle? Emotions are feedback. They are information meant to move us into action. If you've been feeling stuck, confused, or uncertain, ask yourself, how am I using my emotions? What are they telling me? How can they help me navigate change?